Life, right? That's what our goal is, right?
The old Filipinos will tell you the best combination, in their opinion, was the Indonesian footwork, which is from here, from the silat, which is what they do,
It's a lot, right?
and the techniques of the Kali. Now, this is what I meant to tell you also. This advanced triangle is a copycat from what is called Laka Impact footwork from Indonesia, which is from here. So I'm gonna do it slowly so you see. Again, this is the advanced triangle. They're coming here and there, right? They copied that off of this footwork. In other words, Jerry, come, stand. You throwing a left jab. That's the Indonesian footwork. Go to left jab. That's the Filipino copycat that they learned, that they created the advanced
Footwork too.
triangle.
And it's really fun.
This is the basic triangle. This is the reverse.
Right, this is, right.
It's coming from here. Okay? This is the advance of it. And again, this is the lack of impact footwork from the silat. So when you throwing left, right, say? Okay, that's the Indonesian movement. So this is what
It's incredible because basically what you're doing is angles, but without the pause in between. People do angles to create too much space.
Because when you're playing with knives, everything that we learned was based off a bladed weapon. It wasn't from empty hand.
Right.
Even the grappling we do, the Harry Mao and the Dumag, was based off of this. So everything is angles. You look at a person, when you look at a person, I'm looking at you, your body is quartered off. A woman can fight a man. I saw Billy's first wife wreck him. Because the concept of combat is different. She was attacking their limb. In other words, over here we're looking at somebody, their whole body.
Right.
When they would punch at her, say you throw a right hand, she'd break or you throw it again,
Right.
she would damage them. If you're kicking, she would damage them because she was 105 pounds, 5'1".
So she knew that she had a disadvantage, so she had to create and use the.
No, that was the art. That's how they taught all of us. When you're looking at a person, I'm looking at your body as quartered off. I don't, I had many fights in the prison. I said big man,
What do you mean the
big
prison?
target. Because I'm a correctional officer. I
You're
work
a
in prison,
correctional,
right.
okay.
24 and a half years.
So this is proven.
For me, I have
Wait, hold on. So you learned the concept of people who
fought
have
guys in jail. I fought right in the cell where you had the iron sink, the stool, everything.
And those guys,
always I
they
came out.
their weapons. They know how to
always
create
I
shanks
came-
out of teeth.
But it go right through that. And it's not me, it was my training. It's not about me. Because I'm not smart enough to have known to create this. I was taught this.
You're fortunate enough to be exposed to it and
Exactly.
smart enough to continue.
Right.
But wait, and one quick question, because to me, it's fascinating. Why are you sharing this information?
Knowledge is useless if it's not spread. Why would somebody, and it's not me, first of all, it's not me, it's my teachers, but why hoard something, whether it's food, money, or knowledge, and you go to your grave and you don't pass it on? Why? For what?
They say that if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
Right. So
I've
I'm sharing,
seen
I'm
that.
gonna get it. But you also get good
I've
at what you
seen it.
teach.
Yes.
Except that
And
some
you know what
people
you just
teaching-
said is important. I'm not going to mention this gentleman's name because he's a good friend of mine. He's from the Philippines. He was a champion fighter in the Philippines. And because he hid techniques, he forgot a lot of the
that's
technique.
exactly right.
And I'm not going to say his name because I have a lot of love
But
for
that's
him.
biblical too,
But
because
he's
you
a
can't
champ-
hoard. You
He's a
cannot
champion,
hoard.
Jerry.
Wow.
Right. You don't. Why do you hold? Now, no, you could be selective
Right.
in who you
That's smart.
want to teach.
That's smart.
But you pass knowledge. Knowledge is to be passed on. You don't go to your grave like you. I've heard about different great grandmasters, and they went to their grave and they didn't teach this technique. Why? Why would you do that? You
Selfishness.
cheat.
That's selfishness.
You cheat.
But I think the most selfish you could do is to help someone get better because you feel proud vicariously. Right? As a
Sure,
grandfather. That's the way it's
sure,
supposed to be.
sure.
Hey guys, listen, man, you guys know the majority of the people who I know that I love as friends teach stuff that doesn't work. However, in that stuff that doesn't work, I used to do the opposite of them. So if someone said something and I tried it, I said, that didn't work. And my goal is to improve. My goal is to improve. And I've been saying to my girlfriend who's back there, and we've been together only just shy of 2 years.
I just reckon Fontaine.
Oh, no,
Okay,
we
that's
got
nice.
it
I
wrong.
didn't.
Hey, listen.
I didn't see that when you came in.
Excuse me, brother. No, and I only got 8 students.
Let me get a shirt with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is this: my intentions, and Randy Howard, a very good friend of mine, has been telling me for years. I just haven't been able to do it. I want to be a student to learn as much as possible to help share information with generations to come too. And I know that people have made similar discoveries. They just don't know what it is. I just know this. We know that it's stuff that works, right? But how great is it when you don't have to create it? When you get a chance to stand on the shoulders of giants who already have proven that. And that's my goal. Honestly, I've always had a hard time training with people because when we wanted to work out, it's like I ended up teaching them. I'm like, I came here to learn. What the hell? Because most people are lazy in their knowledge. Curriculums are limited, and then they segment it to teach, and I get that part. The most suffering in martial arts, in my opinion, are the instructors that need to learn. Those people were lied to that by the time they got to black belt, they're going to start to learn. No, by the time they got to black belt, they made them teach. So they never got a chance to really learn. So the biggest need in martial arts are the so-called leaders that need more leadership, and this is what I'm saying. I am 1 year old and I want to learn from people who have learned from others of stuff that actually works. So as soon as possible, if you allow me, I want to be a student, sir.
The little I know, you more than happy. Okay, but the little that I know come from, and I have to, from Lee Hogahi, it come from Eddie Joffrey, who deceased, and it come from Leo's uncle, Nene Totel. Okay, so the little that I can show you, it comes from them, and I was fortunate to have trained under them. They're very, very knowledgeable, man. Very knowledgeable. They shared a lot
In the art of war.
Yes.
For peace.
In combat.
And peace system.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we watched this video that I think you would enjoy watching it for a few reasons, but it was called King Blade. It's supposed to be the mindset of a Filipino. I'm not exactly sure because I'm a neophyte. But in the documentary, they had people in the Philippines from all over, and you will probably know who these people are. But my girlfriend was fascinated. She loved it. What she loved the knife part of it. So that's why
they had the bolos and stuff too.
Oh man,
they nasty, man.
This guy, I forget his name, but Bobby Tabo something, man. Oh, when these guys were moving, the fascinating part was this: to watch that in real time was like watching it in hyper time, but it was shot from a distance, and I'm like, it wasn't cut, take two, do it again.
And the welts that it would leave on the guys, the
that
sticks.
went on the search to find the King Blade was from Russia. And on his way to, so these two people were looking for the same. It was a great. Bottom line is that it made the Filipino arts, and they give the credit to Salat, to the Indonesians, because they broke it down. It gave them a platform to stand on the shoulders and let the people, the world know. Because isn't it crazy that this is still a secret? In many ways, it's not Taekwondo.
Because when we started learning it, nobody knew what it was. When we used to say we doing Penchuk Silat, Kali, nobody knew. They had heard of the Ashkremen and Arnish, but they didn't even know about them because all they saw was the stick. They didn't know it was a full art. The Penchuk Silat, this is the way it was explained to me. The Indonesians and Filipinos are cousins by blood. So when the Penchuk Silat was created, it transferred over to the Philippines, and they came up with the Kali. When you look at certain things, you almost you can't tell the difference.
Except like where you just showed that your hip turned a bit slightly, your knee dropped a little bit, and turned to the advanced footwork as compared to.
When it's pure, because you have a lot of, what's the term, hybrid.
Yeah.
So you have some Silat or Kali that has a jiu-jitsu in it, it has boxing. When you see the Silat pure, the Kali pure, it's very hard to tell the difference. It's hard.
It's intricate information. It's dropping the hip, the knee.
This was the thing, and my pronunciation is very bad, so bear with me.
We got captures in the bottom.
Because it's terrible. I have a thick tongue. They have what's called the Magic Pie Empire. The Magic Pie Empire was the countries in Southeast Asia: Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia,
The ones that people don't
Philippines,
think about.
Yeah, Burma,
Uh-huh.
Thailand, Malaysia. When you look at their jungle arts, now I'm not talking about their sport arts.
Right.
When you look at their jungle arts, they all look the same. They move their blade, okay? They do low movements.
Yeah, take out the
They
leg.
do climbing movements because the people interacted and they mixed, and they'll call it different names, but it all has to do with the silat. It's really fascinating when you
We
see
think
it.
about Asia, we think about the big countries, right? China, Japan,
Japan,
Korea. That pretty much
right,
ends it, right?
right,
In the meantime,
right.
those Asians that got dark skin,
Right,
because they're out in the jungle,
right.
they're the ones that
They
have
want
some
no
guerrilla
one,
warfare.
right,
and
Jerry.
they are interconnected because of
Right.
the similarity of environment and everything else. It wasn't mainland.
It's amazing.
Oh,
it's
wow.
amazing when I've met, over the years, different guys have come from the Philippines, Indonesia. These just regular people, not
Right.
big name instructors, and you would see how tremendous that their art was. Okay, their movement, their understanding of the art,
Yeah.
their blade work, and it's just a regular guy from over there.
Hey, we mentioned briefly about Puerto Ricans and knives and even Mexicans and knives. Can you just talk about that for a second?
Spanish people have a deep culture and are recognized to be very, very proficient, and my grandmaster will tell you that too, with bladed weapons, okay? And they are to be given utmost respect because this is why. And the little bit that I know, and if I'm leaving anybody out, it is not intentional, it is just ignorance on my part. Okay, we talked about Southeast Asia with their knife work. But now you talk about the Latinos with their knife work. You talk about the French
Right.
with
right,
their
right,
knife
right,
work.
right.
You
Spanish-
talk about the Italians with their knife work. You talk about the Native American Indian with their knife work. This is not just restricted or prohibited to one culture. This blade has to do with a lot of culture, a lot of knife fighting. I've been blessed where I've seen different knife fighting and I respect it all. It is all deadly. And if you have someone who has this and you don't have it and you're on the street and they know how to use this, you have a serious, serious problem. A serious problem. That knife, that you gotta understand something, and I think people, because of the age, the day and age we live in, people talk about guns. A gun is a great weapon, tremendous weapon. But people were killing people with bladed weapons and sharpened sticks and sharpened rocks for thousands and thousands of years before a gun was ever created.
Well, we just heard recently, like in the last 20 years or so, that it's like in 15 feet, a person with a knife, a person with a gun, and the guy might get
That's
one
true.
shot off and miss, and that other
Yes.
guy's gonna chop you up for Thanksgiving.
My grandmaster did it's an instructional tape that is for law enforcement and military where he showed that. And I want to say this from Miss Spontaneous because I said this earlier, and I was told not just by Grandson Han Gaiji, but also Pendekar Jaffa when he was alive, the most deadliest knife fighters in the world are women.
Hear that? Wow, so
Okay, and these are meant because these movements, I'll do them slowly. These are feminine movements.
yeah, it's flow.
Okay, they said you would have women over in the Philippines when the husband would be out cheating on them, and they would be on the road, and the reeds and everything would be up there, and he would pass by, and they cut his Achilles and all of
He's
that.
going nowhere.
Yeah, and I had this. My sister-in-law will laugh if she ever see this. My sister-in-law, I don't even know if she's 5 foot. Okay, she's very small. And years ago, I would give her the butter knife. You know the metal,
Yeah.
metal, and I would give it to her, and I would call myself, and she taught me a lesson. I think I'm parrying her knife. Women are built different from us. Whether they're big or small, their limbs are more pliable. She would eat me up, or when they're carving me, where she showed me, I had to adjust my technique. So I understand. Yes, Jerry. So I understand what they were saying, that women are
Sorry, honey.
more dangerous. Yeah, listen, if you and your wife are not getting along, don't teach her how to use a knife.
Yeah,
that's all I tell you.
I announce it. No, and look, sir, I'm honored, I'm blessed. And the fact of the matter is that if there's any way possible, guys, for you to want to learn the real deal stuff, this is where I'm going to become a student. Because the fact of the matter is, and I know a lot of you guys give me some compliments, but I'm telling you, I don't know anything. All I know is that there's an opportunity while still being alive to learn stuff.
For
And
all
to
of
connect
us.
with people.
I'm still learning.
But this is the whole thing, that is constant never-ending
It
improvement.
never ends.
And the biggest challenge that I see is that people have the nerves to say that they retired from what? If you're still alive, retired from... Now, I understand changing energies and spending time doing other stuff, but retire? How the hell are you freaking gonna retire from life? That's why they go to Florida 2 years after they die. And the time of St. Peter, right?
Yeah.
You retire.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We're trying to stay
We're
alive.
trying to stay alive and stay healthy while we're alive.
Well, this is the whole thing, that today I had an opportunity to share some information and to learn a lot more information, and I feel honored and blessed. And rest in peace for those who passed away. Ernest Hyman passed away today, and Richard Chun passed away a few days ago. So every day alive.
May the Creator be pleased with them.
And this is the whole thing, guys. We have no time to waste on nonsense. And gossip is nonsense. We got things to do. Don't let your ego, your editing God out, get in the way of your ability to tap into some infinite wisdom that's all over us, and we can have a freaking ball. You know? Sir, I bow and I salute you and I appreciate
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is historical.
Thank you, Miss Martinez.
When I say AB, you say see ya, AB. See ya, we out of here. Thank you. And I almost set up.